Whatever you do, don't ask Kanye West about his favorite song on Eminem's The Death of Slim Shady because it looks like he took it too far.
I'm evil. I am an evil person.
Hello again and welcome back to another one, and today we have a couple of topics to cover as we got some spicy updates, like one that goes back to the drama that we covered months ago when Kendrick Lamar dropped GNX and made some comments about how white comedians shouldn't make fun of black women, and we got more that has come from this as we all remember that people pointed fingers at Andrew Schulz, and he was recently on the Pivot podcast and they spoke about this, the whole backlash he faced, and Andrew Schulz brought up some points that have sparked some heated debates on social media, and we will be exploring some highlights, more on this in a moment. And today we also have another one when it comes to the monthly report on this platform for the most viewed rappers, and Kendrick Lamar continues to do what many rappers have failed to do for months on end this decade, as once again Eminem came in at number 2, and we'll be exploring more on this in a moment. And we also have an update on 50 Cent versus Lil Meech after they fell out when Big Meech went to link up with Rick Ross. And today we have an update that is quite sad, to be honest, and many fans are lamenting on social media about the aftermath. More on this in a moment. And today we'll be starting with Eminem trolling his fans on the 1st of April when he posted this "Then Zimmy Bruh" that included a link to some merch that included the phrase. And of course many fans fell for it, and this sparked some interesting conversations as over on Reddit users are asking, can somebody please make this a real shirt? And this sentiment was recurrent as another user expanded, the one time there's a fun, unique idea for merch, it is some April Fool's-ish. Paul will be back to slapping Eminem/Slim Shady on some black t-shirt and calling it a day. Haven't seen a good merch design since the kamikaze green hoodies. And the disappointment was the same across the board as another user expanded. I'm not joking when I say this is the first merch piece I would actually buy. Eminem merch usually is so unbelievably ugly, but that is at least funny. And clearly Eminem has seen the Gen Zimmy Bra memes and decided to bank on the joke, but this time people were wishing it was a real thing, as another user expanded, legitimately one of the better shirt designs they have had, LOL. But what are your thoughts? Did you fall for the post? And are you one of the fans who was hoping that this was a real design? Share your thoughts below. And before we head to the next topic, Lil Wayne has announced the release date for the Carter 6, and it is dropping on the 6th of June. And due to the historic collaborations between Eminem and Lil Wayne that have led to some legendary music in the past, some are asking, will Eminem be a feature? What do you guys think? As on one end, some believe no, Eminem won't necessarily be a feature on every single album from a large artist coming out, which got this response. A lot of fans want another Wayne and M collab, and Wayne just listed M as his favorite celebrity on Jesse Reyes' album. And this was from a few days ago when Jesse Reyes posted this, a card of Lil Wayne that included heroes like Rakim, Michael Jackson, hobbies like skateboarding and playing the guitar, and as you can see from the favorite celebrity segment, it says Eminem.
My man.
And a user went down memory lane and expanded. They collabed 4 times, and M collabed twice with Nicki, even shouting her out during the concert. Wayne and Jay both reacted strongly to the MTV list that included them as the top 5 rappers in the world. Jay even attacked the credibility of such a list that omitted the biggest seller of the year. It was 2010, so Recovery was the highest selling album of the year, not just in rap. Nicki also called Eminem as being in her top 2, and the other being Wayne. There's a lot of love between Shady and Young Money, but all in all, what are your thoughts when it comes to the speculations of Eminem featuring on Lil Wayne's upcoming album? And moving on to the next point, we got to hear from Andrew Schulz on the Pivot podcast about the backlash he faced after he fired back at Kendrick Lamar after Kendrick said that no white comedian should be making jokes about black women.
Like, I'll tell you what you want to know what my initial reaction is, which I think is kind of unfair. My initial reaction was when I saw you guys talking about it, and I was like, okay, he wants to protect black women, and this is very important. And then I looked on every one of the episodes that you had to see if there was any guys on here that beat up black women, and there were. And I looked to see if you guys addressed it on the pod. and you didn't.
Okay.
Now, I also saw you guys had the episode with DeAndre's mom talking about domestic violence. So I was like, okay, this is good and this is powerful, this is important. But my knee-jerk reaction was, man, I get a whole section that's not even part of an episode. And these guys who we know have actually, like, for like a joke, and these guys who have actually like hurt black women and convicted, not allegations, because I don't go off of allegations, I go off conviction. Everybody can get an allegation, it means nothing. And then these guys, they don't get anything. So in that moment, I was like, this feels like a clout play. It doesn't feel like the highest priority is protecting these women. So that was my initial reaction.
So I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
We have had people on this show that have been convicted for domestic violence that have pulled it out of the show.
That pulled it out of the show.
That I have asked about it.
Oh, and then they're like, I don't want it on the show.
Yeah, and I do, because people come on our show voluntarily.
Of course.
I do ask those questions in a respectful way, right? I'm not, hey man, you're a woman beater, but I will say, like, in one of the instances that was pulled, I said, look, you were convicted of something that no man wants attached to his name.
Amen.
And we talked to their people. I was like, man, the answer was good, like, and they pulled it out of the show. We also had an instance with one of our guests who was talking about sexual assault, and he talked about it in a way that almost said that, okay, how do we blame the women? And I addressed that as well.
Yeah.
So as far as for me, I try to address it in every opportunity that I get a chance to with them.
Yeah.
I try to ask them questions in ways that they get to tell their side of the story. When they sit with us, I do not bash them over the head with it, condemn them. I do try to have a conversation about it.
We're all like hypocrites. Like, nobody's perfect. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've had a president on the podcast. Like, nobody's killed more people than a president. You know what I mean? Like, anybody who sat down, if you sat down with Obama, hundreds of thousands of people are dead because of decisions that he thought were in the best interests of America, right? Same thing if you sat down with Clinton, you sat down with anybody, right? Like, I did a buddy of mine's podcast, and he brought up the fact that I had Alex Jones on my podcast. He did one of the most heinous things in history, where he said that those kids were faking it at that school shooting. Remember that? Like, I had a buddy of mine, I went on his podcast, and he was like, yeah, I can't believe you did that. That was like so fucked up, like what he did to those kids. And I was like, you visited the Pope. They were protecting people. Kids. We can always find the moral equivalency or the moral high ground, which was a thing that I did with you guys, but I hesitated to like go out and talk about that publicly. This is why I did, is because the point of that is not to protect those women or to protect the children. The point of that is to make you feel bad or me feel good. And now we're using victims as a tool. I don't want to do that.
And personally, I wasn't a fan of a rapper telling a comedian what they could and they couldn't say, which is pretty much pushing for censorship. Like, the jokes can be judged on if they are funny, but telling people who is off limits is an L in my opinion. And back to the clip, it sparked some interesting reactions, as it is a lot of back and forth going on right now. On one end, some believe, I think uncomfortable conversations are good. I applaud all involved for having the courage to speak to each other face to face and hear one another out. And yes, the hypocrisy was oozing from all angles after Kendrick said that, and another user expanded, y'all let this white man too much into black business, cut it out. To which a user responded, yeah, God forbid somebody tells the truth. And some came for his neck. Now, the dude using abuse against black women to justify his point about disrespecting black women and defending on a gay joke towards Kendrick, and to this a user fired back with, he's calling out the hypocrisy, short bus. And this one left many users with a head scratcher. Difference about those black men is that they were in relationship with black women and can speak from a place of love, anger, whatever emotion. Schulz is an outsider trying to clown from the outside. Hard pass.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And to this user expanded, wow, I've seen it all. Your hate for Schulz has driven you to defend domestic abuse? You could have just said they are both wrong. And to this another user expanded, laughing, I beat the F out of you because it is coming from a place of love. What a clown. And more, Schulz has dated black women. So in conclusion, that point was brain dead to begin with. But overall, what are your thoughts on the whole thing? Do you agree with Kendrick's lyrics that white comedians shouldn't make jokes about black women? Or do you think it was hypocritical to make a statement like that, like a rapper pushing to censor a comedian? And I'll be looking forward to your thoughts in the comment section. And moving on, before we head to the next point of the most viewed rap/hip-hop artist of the month of March, we got more from 50 when it comes to his feud with Lil Meech, as if you recall, 50 reportedly paid to get Lil Meech clean as part of the whole preparation for his role on BMF, and 50 recently posted pictures of Lil Meech posted with the song Rehab by Amy Winehouse playing in the background, and he added the caption, "Damn, this is bad. You believe me now? Oh, now you wanna believe me? Okay."
Boy, I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
And this immediately sparked reactions like, "You should have never taught 50 how to add music to posts, loudly crying and laughing emojis." I mean, he went straight for Rehab by Amy Winehouse to stress his point, and some have expanded. It is funny how it works. Big Meech poisoned his community and his son is struggling from a drug addiction. Life always comes full circle. And of course, this sparked a bit of back and forth in the comment section, and we got more. 50 is not making fun of him, he's just showing y'all the difference between when Meech was riding with him versus when Meech riding with his own dad. Y'all slow, shake my head. And he posted a picture of Floyd Mayweather and Rick Ross and added the caption, help him out. You guys knew what you were doing. You used him and now you're not gonna be there for him. Shake my head. And another user expanded, "The saddest part about the entire thing is that I believe that 50 had genuine love for Lil Meech. He was looking out for him and wanted the best for him. Officer Ricky and Floyd had all the time in the world before 50 to help him while Big Meech was in prison. They did absolutely nothing, but now they are just using Lil Meech and his father. Big Meech was supposed to be this mastermind, but couldn't tell what Officer Ricky was doing. He should have seen the play a mile away 100%. And some are quoting past lyrics that got Rick Ross in trouble. Check this out. They put Molly in his champagne and he ain't even know it. Pensive face emoji. And personally, I have to agree, this is not 50 making fun of Lil Meech. It's more about being disappointed that he chose the wrong team, a group of people that never actually cared about his well-being. But what are your thoughts? And moving on, we got the report for March that shows the most streamed rap/hip-hop artist on this platform, and Kendrick Lamar continues the streak as the most streamed rap/hip-hop artist with 470 million views, and Eminem came in at second with 409 million streams. And if you were with us for the past reports, you know this is far from the norm, as Eminem went on a whole streak for years as being the most streamed rapper on this platform, but the last 2 months saw Kendrick snatch the top spot from M. And as you can see, 50 made the top 10 in March with 164 million streams. But so far, the greatest gainer when it comes to these reports is Doechii, who is doing the unthinkable and unimaginable right now compared to how she performed in 2024. As apart from being the most viewed female rapper on the list, this was how it went, as in the first quarter of 2025, she's earned 371 million streams, and in comparison to how she performed all through 2024, this is monumental, as all through 2024 she earned 157 million streams on the platform. So this is insane. But over to you guys. I'll be looking forward to your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. See you on the next one.